Hi everyone, Linda from Let's Talk Prepping. And I just wanted to give you a couple precautions here. We've talking about the banks falling apart and the runs on the banks. And a lot of people are taking their money out of the bank. And I just want you to be sure that you don't say to your neighbor, your good friend, your family, hey, I don't trust those banks. You better get all your money out of it. Because then they're going to know that you took your money out and they might just come and steal it. And especially if someone was really smart, they would say to you, well, what are you going to do with your money once you get it out of the bank? And you can say, oh, well, I saw online you can hide it here and here and here, and you're giving it away. So don't mention anything about taking your money out of the bank. I wouldn't even tell people to take their money out, especially because they tell someone else who sells someone else, and I would worry about losing it and it getting stolen. So be quiet, don't say anything. And the other thing I want to warn you about, once you take your money out of the bank and you have that pile of cash at home, don't fritter it away. The thing is, it's there, and you say, well, I'll just borrow it till I get paid Friday. And of course, you're not going to pay it back. You say you're going to. The Girl Scout comes to your door. Normally, you wouldn't buy Girl Scout cookies, or you'd only buy one box. But you've got the pile of cash. So you say, oh, I'll take 5 boxes. And you use the cash. Or you grab some cash because you're going down to get gas. And then you spend it at the gasoline place, the mini market. So just be careful. If you are taking money out of the bank, make sure you put it in a safe place at home or reinvest it. Where would you invest it? I guess gold and silver, land, collectibles. Those are the things that people mostly recommend. If you don't want to invest it in any of those and you're just going to hide it, make sure you don't tell anyone except maybe your immediate family, those who live with you, where it is. So that's what I wanted to mention to you today. With that in mind, let's go look at the headlines and see what's going on. We're over here at the Gateway Pundit, and Tucker Carlson says, if people don't start making a lot of noise, it will mean digital currency. If you want to make a run on the banks, this is how you talk. And this is March 13th, which would have been yesterday. And he told his audience, if people don't start making lots of noise, we're going to see a government-controlled digital currency. And he discussed that on his show, so you might want to go and look at that. But let's take it to heart and see how we can make a lot of noise and say, we don't want it. We don't want this at all. He said that after bailing out the bank, he warned that this banking crisis could lead to a national digital currency. It's something that the government and the Federal Reserve have been working on, and we know that. And it would allow the government to control your money, and we know that too. So you might want to look at this. It's just how we're going to make some noise, how we're going to say, no, I'm not going to do it. That's the question. Then if we look over here at the end of the AmericanDream.com, and this is March 12th by Michael Snyder, the Federal Reserve just made an emergency decision which will fundamentally change banking in America forever. And he basically says they couldn't let the banking system collapse. So what they did is they said they would rescue them and pay for everything. So now basically it's the Federal Reserve that's going to bail out the banks and not the FDIC. So that's a good, interesting article. And this is from DCDirtyLaundry.com. Prepare for pain. Scotland bans anesthesia due to its impact on climate. And again, today's date, March 14th, Ethan Huff. He writes a lot of really good articles. The first country in the world to ban the inhaled anesthetic desflurane. think I'm saying that right, desflurane, is Scotland. It's decided that this pain-numbing, sleep-inducing gas is too damaging to the climate to continue allowing the hospitals to use it. So everything now is going to hurt the climate, and we're going to have to just start banning everything, it seems like. It has a global warming potential 2,500 times greater than carbon dioxide. So already some hospitals in the UK have begun phasing out the anesthetic, which will be gone from England by early 2024. Now, I don't know how often this is used in surgeries. Is it used a lot? Is it the main one they go to, or is there another one? I'm not sure, but you know that if they're banning this, they're going to start banning all kinds of other things. It says the widespread claim, which is unsubstantiated. And that's the thing. They just make these things up sometimes. And we are told that it's true. They maintain that ending the use of desflurane in the UK will reduce harmful emissions by 40 kilotons of carbon per year. So everything damages the climate, so it must all be banned. And they're also looking at other potential gases, such as isoflurane and nitrous oxide. So that's interesting that it's just another thing they're going to ban. And most people, we just say, oh, well, what can we do? We just kind of accept it. And I guess I'm the same way. It's just we accept it because we feel helpless, like there's nothing we can do about it. And then over here, newsandjava.com. This was a new one for me, newsandjava.com. U.S., Australia, and EU prepare to launch mandatory digital ID. And this is a video by Maria Z, and she goes through and tells you how they've taken steps, the United States, Australia, and countries in the EU eventually making digital IDs mandatory. And so that's an interesting one. And then over here at Yahoo News, mutation in bird flu virus moves a step closer to humans. And again, whether it does or it doesn't, they're going to tell us it does. And they're going to then get rid of all the birds, and then they're going to try to say, oh, it went to cows, and they'll get rid of the cows and the pigs and everything that we eat. So we have this mutation in bird flu virus moves a step closer to humans. And then over here at Yahoo Finance, here are all the banks getting crushed right now and what to do if your money is in there. So they have the banks that they say are getting crushed are First Republic Bank, and I guess JP Morgan Chase helped this bank out. Commercia Bank in Dallas, Key Corp, First Horizon. Those are the banks they say are in trouble right now. So if you have your money in those, I guess I would definitely get it out. Of course, they don't really say what you should do. They say and what to do if your money is there. I mean, it's all go back, put it in another bank, which is one thing you can do. Find a community bank and put your money in a community bank and then spread it out through different banks if you happen to have a lot of money. But again, it's the collectibles, gold, silver, land. And I would prepping things, food, anything you're going to use to prep with. Think about those things. And then the last one from Yahoo News, why scientists across the West are poised to start bird vaccinations. So now they want to vaccinate all the chickens and all the birds if they can. The trouble is, we really don't know what they're vaccinating them with. When you think of what they used in the mRNA vaccine, is that the same type of vaccine they're going to be using? And how dangerous would it be if we ate the eggs and if we ate the chicken? It's just a vicious circle here. So those are the things that are going on. Please take care. Do everything you can to protect yourself. If you have any comments, leave them down below. Thanks for watching. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe.